Devs, pull up a chair, get cozy, because we need to have a little chat. These are my thoughts on the current state of the tech job market, particularly for developers and software engineers, particularly those of you who are at junior level and just starting out. Plus a few things to do if you're looking for a role right now. Devs, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Derick. I'm a front-end developer based out of Los Angeles, California, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving my candid and unfiltered thoughts on the current state of the job market here in 2025. If you're a dev right now and you're looking for a decent role, I'm so sorry. Before I dive in though, full disclosure, I haven't looked for a job for a while now. I've very fortunately been gainfully employed for almost 4 years now with Activision, aka Microsoft. And I was really fortunate enough to have sort of struck gold back when the market was hot during the peak of COVID in 2021. I mean, just look at this graph right here. This is back when it was an employees market. It is now an employers market. That's the difference. And despite my company going through multiple rounds of layoffs that I've managed to survive, I'm still here. And I think that says something. But nonetheless, I still feel for my fellow devs struggling to get their foot in the door somewhere, especially the junior level folks. It is just brutal right now. Shit is bleak. So I feel for you. I've been in your position several times, 6 to be precise, but that's a video for another day. So how did we get here? Why is it so bad? Well, to understand where the job market is now, it's important that we understand where it was not too long ago. Most of the advice and drivel that you'll hear or read online is about how the job market worked in like 2017, 2018 BC. That's before COVID. The key thing about this era is that there are way more tech jobs than there were tech people. Software engineering roles were still sort of niche in a way. The market just hadn't yet been flooded by the horde of CS graduates and boot campers because coding was still sort of considered a niche and trendy thing at the time. The market just hadn't been oversaturated yet like it is now. This was the era of all of those viral like day in the life videos that started blowing up online and everyone all of a sudden wanting to become a software engineer and expecting a 6-figure offer right out of school. This energy went well into the pandemic where there was a hiring boom and companies could now recruit talent from essentially wherever due to the normalization of remote work. Good times. Oh, how the tables have turned. The shoe is now on the other foot. Is that the expression? Whatever. The thing is that companies then were more willing to take a risk on onboarding someone with less experience because they had the financial bandwidth to do so. Think of all of the PPP and EIDL loans that the federal government issued back then. There was a lot of economic stimulus floating around, and a lot of it didn't have to be repaid by businesses. Now, fast forward a bit, take all of that money drying up, demand for certain talent dwindling as things slowly open back up and we return to some sort of state of normal, then commence the then Great Resignation, as they coined it, and then sprinkle in a little bit of round of layoffs into 2022, 2023, and 2024, where now, and I mean quite literally hundreds of thousands of devs are now also in the market competing for those roles and hunting to fill those available slots. You see what I'm saying? The current market is ass. Like, it's just ass. It's just this two-faced, gate-kept, seniors-only market for whatever reason, and it's just brutal, especially for the junior folks right now. I feel so bad for you guys. People are just getting jerked around by recruiters, firing resumes off into the dark, ghosted via email, or just straight up not hearing anything at all. And when it comes to hiring in this market, hiring a junior engineer now, from the business's perspective, isn't really an exchange of money for code. To the employer, it's usually a risk and an investment with the hopes that said junior engineer will eventually become good enough to be a really useful contributor to that business. It's really harsh to say that, but that is the reality right now. Junior engineers slow their teams down and employers aren't deploying the flexibility that they were then now. Truth be told, they're being stingy as fuck. Those are kind of my thoughts on how we got here. Another big contributing factor to the current state of the job market and why things are so tough is, of course, the elephant in the room, and that is AI. Oh, AI. Let's talk about it. Right now, the biggest use case for AI tools is web and app development. Shocker. Tools like GitHub Copilot, Devin, and Claude have devs just just clenching in their pearls right now, and rightfully so. And that's because they're really good. So good, in fact, that they're capable of handling most low-level tasks that a junior engineer would typically do. I'm talking about scaffolding, basic styles, the simple HTML and CSS stuff to, getting a page or user interface up and going. And while it hasn't taken all of the dev jobs, it has streamlined a lot of the processes that teams used to do manually. And that work was typically done by somebody who was, entry level. So are AI and code generation tools going to replace all of us? My answer is no, but it is going to cause a lot of disruption, as we're seeing. In my opinion, most dev roles are going to evolve in parallel with AI tooling. I really see us becoming more of technicians in the coming years and working alongside AI code generation tools to help us do our jobs more efficiently when it comes to UI or application builds. So we'll still be developers, but we'll be more like technicians guiding these tools to help us do our jobs. I mean, let's be honest, they are great for debugging. Not even 2 weeks ago, as of the recording of this video, did GitHub announce that Copilot is now included with your account, and I have immediately taken advantage of that. I mean, with its advanced context detection features, being able to highlight a specific part of your script or file, or straight up just having it use your entire repository and workspace for context when querying a prompt, legend. So helpful. So no, I don't think AI is coming for all of us, but it is disrupting. And it is making the barrier for entry, especially amongst the junior crowd in particular, much, much, much more difficult. So if that's you, you're going to have to do a few things to stand out. So the question is, obviously, what should you do? Well, here are a couple of things to do if you're in the market and looking right now. By the way, these all sort of compound onto one another. The first thing you should do is care. No. Really care. You have to care about it. 5 years ago, you could dick around and go to a boot camp and come out on the other end with a minimum of an $80,000 a year salary as a junior, even if you didn't really love it. You can't get away with that now. Employers are being far too picky and their bullshit detectors are at a 10. Also, contribute to open source. Actively participating in open source projects obviously improves your skills, but it also demonstrates your commitment to the developer community, and this makes for great show-off pieces during interviews. Another thing, obviously, personal projects. This one should be very obvious. Commit like crazy to your GitHub and get those little squares from gray to green. You know what I'm talking about. Also, don't be shy. Join some dev-related discords and engage in conversations. Chime in. This will help you establish more of some social capital in the space. So just care, because the people who don't are not going to make the cut, I promise you. Another main thing to do is, and I hate that I have to say this one, I hate that we're here, that this is what it's come to, but you're going to want to establish a personal brand. I know. This obviously includes designing and building a personal website. Give it some personality. Show your personality. Show who you are as a developer. Design a logo. Start posting on social media more. Dev topics. LinkedIn is a great place to start for that. Try and build a little bit of an audience, especially on LinkedIn. Follow and engage with other prominent voices in the space. I'm fucking around. I'm not fucking around. But again, this will add to your social capital. And by doing those things, this also does one other thing, and it does it very well, and that is it builds trust. And this will take you very far in the job hunting game. When senior engineers, recruiters, or hiring managers start poking around and they see your online presence and everything you got going on, brother, it's going to be nothing but green flags for you. It's going to win you some points. It's really just going to make you look better and more serious. And the last thing that I'll mention is, and this one sucks also, but you have to network. Get other dev friends. Just get other dev friends. I feel like this one is kind of a cheat code. An overwhelming amount of hires either come internally or via referral. If someone you know can vouch for you and refer you, you just skip to the front of the line. No engineering manager, hiring manager, recruiter, etc. wants to go through hundreds of cold applicant resumes. To them, every single one of them is an absolute gamble. So by making and having other dev friends already in the game who can potentially talk you up or straight up refer you, this will go a long way. Like I said, you're going to skip to the front of the line, because there's nothing more defeating than the constant silence of firing your resume off into the dark, just sitting and waiting for a response. Your network will go to bat for you more than you think. So get other dev friends. So devs, those are just kind of my thoughts on the current state of the job market and a few things that I would do if I were in the market looking right now. I've certainly had my struggles with finding a role, so hopefully these things help. But that about does it for this one. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys enjoy this format, this more casual sit-down chit-chat style format where I just kind of give my thoughts on a particular topic or something going on in the dev and tech world. Was thinking about potentially making this a series, so let me know if you guys are feeling this. But again, hopefully this helps and sort of validates some of your frustrations, because I know and I see how tough it is out there right now. But definitely drop your thoughts or some comments below, like this video, and of course, if you want to support the channel, all you have to do is